Okay, in this video I'm going over the comprehension questions for Honus and me. Number 1 says, if Joey offered to split with Miss Young, and there's a typo, fix that right now, what the baseball card would bring in an auction, would this be an appropriate solution to his problem? Use facts from the text to support your answer. So if, right now in the story, the way the story left off is Joey takes the card and he's heading home and he hasn't told anyone. That's how they end us in the story for us. So if Joey went to Miss Young and said, hey, I found this baseball card, could we sell it and split the money we make? Do you think that would be an appropriate solution to this issue, this guilt that Joey is feeling about taking the card? So you're basically telling me what your opinion is, kind of like those the practice book pages that we did yesterday where they had the 2 arguments and then you had your judgment on it. So this is an idea, a possible solution. Now we need your judgment on it. What do you think? Would that be appropriate? Meaning, would it be an okay solution? Would it be a fair solution? And then use information from the text to support your judgment. All right, number 2, why do you think Joey is so excited to find the baseball card? How can it change his life? Use information from the text to support your answer. So really, this should be pretty straightforward on why he's excited about the card. He knows a lot about the card. And if you go to page 354 in the textbook, you can read a little bit. That's where Joey has found it, and he starts talking about the value of the card and gives you information on how it could possibly change his life. So make sure you go back to 354 to find your information to support. Number 3, this selection ends before we know what Joey decides to do about the baseball card. How would you end the story and why? Well, this kind of goes back to your number 1, but of course you could have a different ending. Number 1 says, what if they decided to split the money? But you may decide, no, Joey should go and give the card back to Miss Young, or maybe you decide Joey should keep the card because Miss Young would have never found it anyways if it wasn't for him. You may want to argue. So it's just up to you. How would you end the story? But then you also need to say why you chose that ending. Why did you choose the ending that you've chosen? So if you choose the ending where Joey decides to give the card back to Mrs. Young, why do you think that's an appropriate ending to the story? So make sure you answer the why part as well. Number 4, Joey could use the wealth from the Wagner card to help his family. Is it all right to take unfair advantage of a situation as long as you help someone in the end? Explain your reasoning. So again, Joey, he lives with just his mom. They have some financial troubles. His mom's always working. And so Joey's thinking, well, maybe if I take this card and sell it, this will help my family out. But he would be technically stealing from Miss Young. And is it all right, though? Is stealing okay in this situation because he's using it to help his family? So that's, again, a judgment call on your part. And just make sure you explain why you think it is okay or not okay for him to do that. And number 5, reread Grandpa and Me on pages 340 and 341. How do Susan and Joey in Honus and Me make false judgments about the older characters in the stories? Use information from the 2 texts to support your answer. So remember, at the beginning of both texts, in Grandpa and Me, Susan is told that she's going to go stay a few weeks with her grandpa, and her first reaction is she kind of groans. But then her feeling changes as the story goes on. And with Joey in Honus and Me, similar situation. He hears he's going to have to go work for Miss Young again, and he talks about how Miss Young is, kind of all by herself, a recluse. Not many people know much about her, and he's kind of like, oh, great, I got to go help this old lady again. But again, his feelings change about Miss Young as he gets to know her better when she shares the picture of her from a sad time in her life. That's getting more information about her, and as he learns more about her, he learns that, hey, you know what, Miss Young isn't so bad after all. So make sure you use information, though, cited from both texts. So you're going to want to have a cited information from Grandpa and Me, so page 340 and 341, and cited information from Honus and Me in your answer. Okay. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.